Welcome, family and friends. Thanks for watching. This is My Thoughts Uncut with your host, Terrence Manning. Today, we're going to talk about the DOJ fraud investigation against the Black Lives Matter. We're also going to see two former members of Black Lives Matter and see what they have to say about it. Let's take a look.
Under the Biden administration, but is now getting renewed scrutiny under President Trump's term. The Justice Department is declining to comment. Black Lives Matter saw a surge of donations after the death of George Floyd in May 2020. Protests erupted in many American cities, including the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. The organization has faced mounting scrutiny from financial mishandlings, including a $6 million purchase of a California property. In the aftermath of George Floyd, BLM reported, quote, across our entities and partners, we have raised just over $90 million in 1 year, 2020. Of these donations, the average donation via our main fundraising platform was $30.64, and more than 10% of donations were recurring. One of the BLM co-founders said back in 2022, she didn't get a salary, but did receive consulting dollars.
You know, the idea that Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation received millions of dollars and then I hid those dollars in my bank account is absolutely false. That's a false narrative.
The scope of this.
So let me get this straight. $90 million. Where did that go? How can you possibly not utilize the money that you claim you are getting and raising for Black lives and not spend a dime on any of the communities? I have not seen any of the communities rewarded for supporting Black Lives Matter. The memorabilia, t-shirts, mugs, hats, fundraising. I haven't seen any of it. Let's take a look at a former Black Lives Matter member.
Xavier DeRosso is a former member of Black Lives Matter and joins us now. And Xavier, it's good to see you again. Under investigation for fraud, what was your reaction when you read the headline from the AP?
I mean, it was music to my ears. As someone that fell for the lies of BLM for so long, I'm so happy to see that they're finally getting investigated and that the truth is coming to light. You know, this really should have happened years ago when Breonna Taylor's mother, Breonna Taylor being one of the most overexposed and exploited quote unquote victims of police brutality, her own mother spoke out against the organization, saying that they raised millions of dollars on her daughter's name, image, and likeness, and never once did they help her nor the community. And that's the track record the BLM has. They go through the.
You see what I'm saying? They raise all this money, and why isn't it being seen in the community? I haven't yet to see videos of Black Lives Matter movement doing anything in these Black communities. So where did the money go? Let's see.
Destroy every single neighborhood that they touch, and then all the money that they raise, not a single dollar goes towards anything productive for any community.
Did it start off, I mean, in 2013, it's what, 12 years old? Did it start off with good intentions and turn into a scam, or was it a scam all along?
You know, it's hard to say. Originally, I thought maybe it just got corrupted. But in retrospect, when you see how shady these people have been since the beginning, I really do believe that it's always been a grift and that the grift just got overexposed right when they got the right opportunity to strike.
You see, he even said they were shady since the beginning. But see, if you notice that they were shady since the beginning, why not stand up and say something? Why wouldn't you have conversations with them or expose them? Why continuously go on with this movement knowing they're robbing people of their money and then not utilizing the money in the right way? Even though I don't agree with the movement, they could have still used the money in the right way.
They saw the opportunity with George Floyd and they took it and they ran with it. And the unfortunate reality is that even if every single dollar is returned to every donor who had good intentions, it doesn't fix the fact that we have irreparable damages to our society and that it created such racial division, something that we hadn't seen in our country in decades. But now white and Black people against each other when everybody knew that racism was a dying issue.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought Alicia Garza says when she was young, she got a break from a cop while smoking weed in a car, which when she was young, that was a really big deal. Weed wasn't always as accepted societally as it is today. But she says that getting the break from the cop is why she started BLM, which is basically is the same as saying that, I'm racist against a group of people because I've had great experiences with them.
That the cop let you go and you were smoking marijuana during the time you were smoking, which at that time was a big no-no for marijuana. It wasn't not accepted like it is now nationwide. Now it's like, oh, you smoke, okay, cool. And so you said that was the moment you thought, you know what? I need to start a movement. These white people are against us. What? They let you go.
And that's why I have a problem with them, but I don't think other people have had great experiences, so now I don't like those people. I mean, what a ridiculous framing for why
So
she started
dumb.
this group.
What is your critical thinking skills and
You know, I'm
logic?
so glad that you showed that clip of her in her own words, because basically what she just said is that as a young black girl, I should have been allowed to break the law. And because a nice police officer helped me get away with breaking the law, that inspired me to start an entire organization to scam the country. Does that not sound insane to people? And it's really insulting as a young black person
So
to think that
insulting.
this is the status quo that we should have and the standard we should set for black people.
Yeah.
Break the law with no consequence.
A cop helped me break the law when I was 17, but he doesn't help other black kids break the law. And so I'm going to start an organization to destroy policing in the country.
And that's what it's all about. And this is not for all black people. This is for some black people who think it's the culture, who think that if they break the law, it's okay because, oh, our ancestors were slaves. Oh, our people went through not prohibition, but civil rights movement and all that stuff. So they think that because the ancestors went through it, it's okay for them to break laws now. No, that was so many years ago. Things have changed. America is not racist. Are there racist people? Of course, there's racist people everywhere, but the country as a whole is far from racist. We're going to take a look at Mark Fisher, who was also a member of the Black Lives Matter movement.
With money pouring in after the media had framed Black Lives Matter as a heroic organization.
My apologies. It's this one right here.
I believe that it's about time that the Black Lives Matter movement got a closer look. It got looked into because, what started out as something with a righteous, objective and which was a righteous cause in the very beginning, it got perverted and it got twisted and it got mangled and it got, compromised. So, yeah, I think you just got to follow the money. Always follow the money. That will tell you the story.
How did it get twisted and compromised, Mark?
Well, I think that the movement, it became so big, it became
Look
so
at this.
powerful, it became a global movement that it was,
at that.
as you know, especially in the year of
In
2020, it was
2 years.
inescapable. And especially during that year when everybody was home and because of the pandemic.
Look at this. Look how much money they raised. The donations, 90 million into. Oh, do you know how rapid of a donation that was? 90 million in 2 years. This is crazy. And oh my gosh, 2 years they burned 90 million. And they raised that money so quickly. It was like that. They got the money and in 2 years
Pandemic. And I just think that they were able to get a hold of some of the people in the movement on the inside. And let's face it, we know that
look at that. 12
some big
million
names were behind.
Come on, guys. Fans and family, like 12 million on luxury homes in LA and Toronto. Why do you have a home in another country? What? So 6 million average homes you spent in LA and Toronto. $22 million in expenses. What kind of expenses are you? Where did this go? Oh my God. Okay, investment loss, I can understand. If you're investing, it's risk in investing. So, okay, I get that. Fundraising cost, okay, only $833,000 that you lost in fundraising costs. Okay, I get that. But my God, look at all these things. Well,
funding the movement, the Marxist wing of it. Obviously, my stance, and I think that's what happened. And people became, compromised, and they proved that there's a price for everybody. Everybody has a price.
If you do the math on it, Mark, if it's $30 million out of $90 million raised, that's 33% going to its stated causes. The rest going to overhead, basically. And that overhead, as we know, includes luxury homes for the BLM leaders and founders. If any other charity was operating at that level of operating cost, it would immediately draw red flags. It would draw regulatory scrutiny. Like if you can look it up at, watchdogs of charities, and the traditional.
We know why it hasn't drawn scrutiny. It hasn't drawn scrutiny because people were in on it. And the funny thing is this isn't Trump and his administration actually bringing up these investigations. No, this investigation started under Biden's administration. So this is during Biden's time in presidency. It's just now coming more to light because, of course, it's Trump.
Metrics, Mark, is 75% of your money should be going to your cause, maybe 25% on overhead. That's totally inverted here with BLM.
No, I agree wholeheartedly.
Look at this.
To quote, President Trump, and I will state the great President Trump, he said, we're looking for the funders, the anarchists and the agitators, who have these beautifully made signs professionally done. We're not looking for the protesters who, make their sign in the basement late in the evening because they really believe it. So, those are the ones that we're looking at. And, I agree, and also the ones who, like you said, siphoned off, to the tune of $90 million, this money that should have been used for the cause, but was, used for luxury of, properties, and over the top parties.
Kudos to Mark Fisher, who saw the light and he saw firsthand how you think that, okay, they're against us. They don't like us. Every step of the way, they trying to hold us back. And then he sees his own people taking advantage of people's tragic or suffering. And they use that money that they raised for their own benefit. And he's like, wait a minute. I thought this was all about strengthening our community and showing everyone that, we can do things. We're just as smart. We're just as capable. Just give us a fair shot. Now, I don't agree with that mindset because I think all of us can do amazing things if we put the work into it. But he thought, okay, this is a great movement. Then he realized, no, it's our own people who do things to ourselves. It's crabs in a barrel. They want us to succeed when we're at our lowest, but then when we start to make that come up and we're actually succeeding, then they call us a sellout, they call us coon, or all the words. We're going to look at one other video that shows the scam under scrutiny. We'll take a look at this.
Organization fighting for racial justice. Just listen to Jane Pauley on CBS Sunday Morning back in 2020.
Black Lives Matter. Those words describe a movement, and behind them, a woman.
You see how she's
Contributor
dressed?
Mark Whitaker.
Look how she's dressed 5 years ago. Oh my God. She's trying to dress like
Introduces us to Alicia Garza.
Big smile on her face. Simping for this ridiculous group. A puff piece would follow that glowing introduction where co-founder Alicia Garza told the story of what inspired her to start this nonprofit. Listen to this.
A run-in with a police officer who found her smoking marijuana with a friend and let her off with only a warning.
I was a kid who was doing things that kids do, and I was given a shot, but most Black kids who were my age at that time are not given a shot. And guaranteed, if I had been a 17-year-old Black girl in West Oakland caught with the same amount of marijuana, I would have spent not just the night, but I would have had a criminal record.
So you commit a crime at 17 years old, and you're still upset that they let you go, and you try to create an imaginary multiverse where if you were in another location, it wouldn't have gone the way it went in your favor. But at the same time, you did commit a crime. Wow, what is? I can't make this up.
This is how insane the country went in 2020. The founder of Black Lives Matter says that as a young black girl, she was given a break by a presumably white cop, and then decided to create a group like this devoted to ending policing as a response to it. A group that's responsible for more black death in this country than cops ever could be. Black on black crime skyrocketed in inner cities as BLM forced Democrat politicians to defund and no longer defend their own police forces. Remember when Democrats in Congress all put on the African garb and kneeled for Black Lives Matter? Yes. That's how stupid your country got 5 years ago, and it was all cultural Marxism, as the founders freely admitted.
So dumb.
I think of a lot of things. The first thing I think is that we actually do have an ideological frame. Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists.
We are trained Marxists.
Look at that, trained Marxists. And this is the leaders of Black Lives Matter, and people just follow them blindly. I'm glad this is coming to light. Black people, get off the Democratic plantation. We're better than that. We can do anything we put our minds to. There's nobody holding us back. There's no white guy and white woman holding us back. The government's not holding us back. Trump ain't holding us back. If anything, he's doing the opposite. He's giving you the freedom to go out and earn, make your money. Be great people. Stop listening to this garbage. Stop listening to the media who's feeding you this propaganda to make you think and feel as though you're being held back, but you're not. We got all the rights everyone else has as a U.S. citizen. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.